Okay, this message is for David Price. David, now you don't know me. I know a little bit about you in terms of your boxing career and followed some of your career. But this is a message of support. It's well documented that I have done interviews with Tyson Fury and Peter Fury and your trainer Franny Smith. But this message is for you in particular. A lot of people at this minute in time have been critical of what's happened to you, getting knocked over by Tony Thompson, a fight in which I believed and recorded on record on video saying that you would knock out Tony Thompson as soon as you'd hit him. And in fact, a lot of people believed that you would beat Tony Thompson. So there's a lot of people that believed in you. Okay, you got beat, you got knocked over, and I don't believe it's the end of the world. But I also think this is a blessing in disguise for you in your career. Either 29 at 30, you're still young for a heavyweight, but in terms of development, I think that you could say this is the end of a part of your career to this point. If you want to become heavyweight champion of the world, which actually I believe you can do, in my opinion, and my opinion could be worth nothing, and a complete stranger online, as a good friend to I would say, I just think that this is the perfect opportunity for you if you really want to become heavyweight champion of the world and really want to do this. And redemption, my suggestion is to go to America. There's been a lot of talk recently about Franny Smith and him being an amateur trainer and not knowing what to do in the pros. I think it's a great opportunity for both yourself and Franny Smith, because he's somebody you've known since the amateur days, somebody you can trust, and go to America. I think you need to do what Vladimir Klitschko did. I think you need to do what Lennox Lewis did. Follow their examples. They're both being champions, one undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, and one who, if Vitali vacates, could be the next undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. And I think that if you look at their two examples, they're guys that have been beat. Vladimir Klitschko got knocked out. Lennox has been knocked out, albeit Lennox was world champion. And Klitschko got knocked out by Ross Purity, who was a heavy-handed guy. There are technical issues which I'm sure you're aware of and Franny Smith is aware of. But it's great that it's happened now. Let it happen now. All those people that have been hanging on to you, and you know who they are, who've been hanging on to you because you've been knocking people over early and suddenly disappearing, let them disappear, let them go. Let them go. And let this be a chance for redemption. And also, hearing lots of stories going around, flying around that, you know, you would go and take on Derek Chisora. If you want to become heavyweight champion of the world, then you've really got to be selfish. I mean, really selfish. Pack your bags, even Khan did it, pack your bags and go to America. There's a trainer by the name of James Ali Bashir. I suggest him because in terms of trainers that are around with world experience and have trained great fighters, James Ali Bashir works with the Klitschkos, if you may or may not have heard of him. You just have to listen to my interview with him. I've just done an interview with him yesterday and talked to him about your career. And I think James Ali Bashir would be excellent for you. He's, you know, worked with Emmanuel Stewart. Emmanuel Stewart had him in his, you know, to work alongside him. So head and head, Emmanuel Stewart and James Ali Bashir worked together in the Klitschko corner, in the Lennox Lewis camp. Only you, deep down, know, you know, regards to your punch resistance, only you would know. And maybe your trainer and those close to you in your camp. But that's not the end of the world. Vladimir Klitschko got knocked out by Layman Brewster. He got knocked out by Ross Purity. But he still came back. And Sanders, he still came back. He avenged the fight against Brewster. You know, I don't believe for 1 second that if you stay in England that you, and carry on boxing the way that you are with that style that you've got at the moment, that it's capable for you to become heavyweight champion of the world. I believe there's technical things that an experienced trainer, somebody like James, no disrespect again to Franny Smith. Franny Smith has done an excellent job with you so far, and I'm not saying at any point, not that my opinion's worth anything anyway, to get rid of Franny Smith. I think for having someone like Franny Smith is someone you can trust, who's been there for the good times and the bad times for your amateur career. I just feel that James Ali Bashir, who's had over 40 years experience in boxing as a trainer, okay, has seen Ali up close. You know, the sort of sparring you would get, the sort of tutelage you would get would be excellent. An old school trainer is what David Price needs to become heavyweight champion of the world. Look, we know you punch like a mule, okay? We know you've been in the Olympics. We know you've got Olympic pedigree, okay? There are a lot of people who are going to give you a lot of advice, and I'm just going to be another one of those guys. But, you know, if you want to be the best, you need to surround yourself amongst the best. And it's time to leave England, David. It really is. There's nothing wrong with going to training camp, doing what you've got to do, and come back to England and fight. Before you Liverpool fans, fantastic, great. But they want a winner. They want the heavyweight champion of the world. I'm sure they won't mind you going away to training camp. I know also there may be issues with you. You may, I don't know, because I don't know you. So I can't, homesickness and stuff like that. Man, if you want to be heavyweight champion, you've got to be ruthless. And I know that you have a ruthless streak within you, because I've seen the way you finish guys off. So it's going to be that sort of killer instinct you're going to need in the States. And there's a lot to work with. There's a lot to work with. Vladimir Klitschko, how often do people hit him on the chin now? He put on a masterclass against David Haye, who has a big punch. He fought whack and was able to deal with whack, who everyone now is rating. So, just have a think about it. If you want to know more about who James Ali Bashir is, you can look at the videos. I'll leave the link below. And yeah, champ, I actually believe you can become heavyweight champion of the world. I do. But for you to do that, there's going to have to be some sacrifices. And the other thing I would suggest as well, David, and again, this is just a observation. I think that physically you're a specimen and a great fighter in terms of, you know, power and speed and movement. I think what you need also internally is some guidance. I think in terms of maybe a life coach. I'm not saying your life's a wreck or anything like that, but what I'm saying is a life coach. One of these people that can make you build the inner belief within yourself, to remove all the doubts, any lingering doubts around you. Because I believe that it's not just about what you do physically, but what you do mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And I think that I'm not for 1 second telling you to run to the church tomorrow, but what I am suggesting is that any past demons you may have in terms of, you know, having lack of self-belief, or, you know, having those doubts, it's a great time now to do that. So you as a champion, you're not only a champion physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, you'll be ready to go. It's not about pleasing the crowd now, David, it's about pleasing yourself and doing what's best for David Price. I think I've said all I can say. I think Frank Maloney has done a great job with you so far. Everybody makes mistakes. You got caught with a shot, you went over, everyone's going to jump on Frank's back. Why did you make the fight? Look, you were looking to fight Tony Thompson. You come back and avenge the loss against Tony Thompson, you're back in the mix. It's a mistake. You've just learnt now something about yourself. Take it as a positive. You've learnt, going back to the drawing board. What? Go back and fight guys that you've been knocking over before. Easy C-level opponents. That's not proving anything. Get to the States. let Mr. Bashir look after you. I'm sure under his tutelage you can be the heavyweight champion of the world. Well, that's enough from me, Bayloric TV. I hope you got the message. I hope your fans pass the message on. And to those loyal fans, your man will do it, I'm sure. And this message is really to support somebody that you know is from the UK, and it would be great to have another heavyweight champion of the world. So along with Tyson Fury, who's a rival, it would be great for you to come back and to be able to get that knowledge, that technical nous and tweaking, to be able to then set up in the future a mega fight between yourself and Tyson Fury. So I hope it helped. I hope the video helps. And yeah, this is about boxing. This isn't about rivalry and oh, I don't like that fight and this fight is. It's not about that. It's about somebody who at the moment is not in the greatest place, and I'm just sort of reaching a hand out and saying, okay, I may not have been knocked out as a fighter, but in life you get knocked down, and I've been in situations where, you know, 1 minute people are all around you because something's going great, and then when things start going wrong, they want to distance themselves. So it's best that you just do what needs to be done for you, David. Well, I think I've gone on enough. I hope the message gets to you. And as to Franny, I hope everything's well. And I think it'll be a great experience for you to be able to go to America and to learn as well and work with David, with someone like James Ali Bashir, who's got so much experience. And I'm sure working together, not only that, you'd become a greater trainer. So you've done a good job so far, but I think that you can't knock someone like James Ali Bashir. Okay, that's my video to you, a message to you, and to those Price fans and fans of boxing. We need David Price back. Good luck, champ.